everyone, today we are going to pressure can some green beans. It's going to be our last green bean harvest of the year. Hi everyone, so now that we harvested our green beans, I'm going to clean them off and then we're going to get them ready for pressure canning. So next we're going to start trimming off the ends and cutting it into 1-inch segments, and then we're going to fill up our jars. We are going to fill this pot with water and we're going to use this as a liquid for when we can the beans, so we need to bring it to a boil. Typically with green beans, you want to leave an inch of head space, but the rule of thumb with pressure canning is to at least have 4 jars, 4 pints when you're pressure canning. So I'm just going to evenly distribute these across 4 jars since I probably don't have enough because this is the last harvest of the year. So I'm just going to fill these as much as I can. Typically I would leave an inch of head space, but like I said, last harvest of the year. So after this, I will fill it up with 1 inch of hot boiling water, and that's the next step. Since we're waiting for that water to boil, we are going to fill our pressure canner up. I have an all-American pressure canner, so you want to fill it up 2 to 3 inches from the bottom. You can probably see this line right here. Since I've pressure canned so much in this, that's where my line is for 3 inches. Move this over here on this burner. We're going to put olive oil on the rim. So I just do that. Go around here to lubricate this. You do this every time you pressure can. Let's go around a couple times. We're going to fill these up with the water now, leaving 1 inch of head space. Now we're going to debubble it. These are going to be really easy because they're not that full. And then we're going to wipe the rims with vinegar. Place the seals on. So also for the new ball standard, all you have to do is clean these lids and bands. You don't have to boil them anymore. So I'm just gonna place this on, and when you put the band on, you do fingertip tight. You don't, put it on as tight as you can because it needs to be able to get the air out when you're pressure canning it. So And the next thing is putting the lid on. So we're gonna tighten these knobs. I usually rotate. I don't put them all the way tight, just loosely. And then I go around and tighten them a little bit and then keep going until everything's super tight like that. Make sure everything's centered. I turn the oven on high, and then once a steady stream of steam comes out, like you'll be able to visually see it, it has to be coming out for 10 minutes. You will set a timer once you see that. Okay. So now that you can hear the steady stream coming out of it, we are going to set the timer for 10 minutes now. Okay, so the 10-minute timer is up, so now it's time to put the weight on. And once the weight starts to jiggle, that is when you set the timer for 20 minutes. That is the processing time for canned green beans and pint jars. Before we put the weight on our pressure canner, I just want to say that because where I am 1,000 feet altitude, so I put the 10-pound weight on. You have to go to the National Canning Society to figure out which weight you are supposed to put on, and you have to figure out your elevation of where you live, and that will tell you on their tables what weight to use. I set the time for the pressure canner for 20 minutes, but if you've never used a pressure canner, some tips and tricks for the jiggle is it should jiggle 1 to 4 times every minute. So right now it's jiggling quite a bit, so I'll probably turn my heat down to medium high and just watch it for the first 5 minutes to make sure that it's jiggling the appropriate amount of time. So now that the 20 minutes is up, we are going to turn off the heat. And now we're just going to let the pressure can cool down. Mine usually takes about 30 minutes. So the pressure canner has cooled down until 0. You can see in the gauge. So now we are going to take the weight off and we will set a timer for 2 minutes. Okay, so these just came out of the pressure canner. You see how this one is bubbling, so I already know that this one is gonna seal. This one's not bubbling, so I know that it's probably not gonna seal. So that's a telltale sign how you know if something got pressured canned properly, because it happens with bad seals sometimes for anyone. So anyway, after 24 hours, I will take the bands off, clean the whole jars because they get kind of weird from pressure canning, and then I'll label them and store them in the pantry, and they're good for 18 months. Thank you for watching my video about canning green beans in the pressure canner. I hope you enjoyed.